Hey, it's Cliff, and did you guys see this happen last night? Let me bring it up for you.
あら、どうなんでしょうか。
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's
G.I. ジェーンのジョークだ
name
ったん
out
で
your
す。
fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? I could, oh, okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
テレ
Okay.
ビ史上最高の場面でしょうか。
So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out.
Now, I don't watch the Oscars, but maybe if they had more stuff like this, I'd pay attention a little bit more. It's pretty humorous. It's trending right now too as well. People are thinking that it's maybe fake, maybe it's staged. I don't know. I'm not really into like celebrity news that much, so I can't really tell if it's real or not. If it is, pretty crazy. If it's not, well, they got me. But one thing you can say for sure is Chris Rock will be feeling that until next August. But anyway, that's what this video is about. It's going to be about Bitcoin. And as you can see here, Bitcoin is pumping, which is why everyone in the crypto community right now is in a great mood because we're starting to see some gains again. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting a little bit above 47K, which is great. We're seeing some pump action, and that made me want to research why is Bitcoin pumping right now. So I've gathered a few of the reasons why Bitcoin might be pumping. I'm sure there's more out there, so if you got a couple more that you want to throw in the comment section, please do, because I'm all for positive news. But anyway, let me go ahead and get into a couple of reasons why Bitcoin is pumping. So according to this article, Bitcoin's correlation to the S&P 500 hits a 17-month high. So what we've been seeing recently is Bitcoin is correlating to the stock market. So as the S&P 500 has been rising, so will Bitcoin. So I can bring in the S&P right here, and as you can see, I have a month chart here, the monthly chart, and at about mid-month, March 14th, we started to see some rising action, and that kind of correlates with Bitcoin going up. So hopefully we will keep seeing gains in the S&P, and that will also correlate with Bitcoin, and we'll make some money there. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up is VTSAX, which is something I follow pretty closely, which is kind of tied into the S&P pretty closely, is their year-to-date yield. This is something I kind of monitor to see where we're at in making gains for the year. So at this point, we're still in the negatives, around -5%, but hopefully as the year progresses on, we'll start to see some money, and we'll hit a positive yield at that point, and hopefully we'll also have a positive yield in Bitcoin. Because the crazy thing is, a lot of people thought we were in the crypto winter, but and maybe we are, maybe this is like a dead cat bounce or something, but who knows? It's crypto. We don't know. Maybe we'll see gains, maybe we won't. But right now, we're just gonna enjoy the ride while we can and move on to more positive news. So, number 2, Kwon reveals plan to increase UST's Bitcoin reserve to $3 billion. Now, if you don't know who Kwon is, he is the Terra Labs CEO, and he originally stated that he had raised $2.2 billion for Bitcoin reserves, and now he is saying that they're going to have $3 billion in Bitcoin reserves to back UST, which, if you don't know what UST is, it's just a stable coin. They're using that stable coin to be backed by something like Bitcoin, which is great, right? So obviously they're going to be pumping in money into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price will be going up. That's great. Also, I don't know, we can kind of decide if we think a stablecoin backed by Bitcoin is good or not because of the fluctuations of Bitcoin, but overall it's probably a good idea, I would say. So I'm all for it, and I'm probably going to invest a little bit more in UST as the time goes along and try to hit some of those bigger DeFi yields that you can get from some of these stable coins. So that's always something to look out for. But for reason number 2, it's just because they're investing in Bitcoin and they're pumping the price. So moving on from there. our friend Nayib Bukele, who is the president of El Salvador, tweeted this. He said, invest in volcano bonds and make the world that bit harder to police. Basically, well, he has a tag here as well. He says Bitcoin fixes colonialism. Obviously, he's referring to the wars going on and a lot of the different laws that are trying to be put on other countries to kind of make it safely political. He's referring to investing in Bitcoin but so you can be your own country with your own laws and not kind of pressed for certain reserve currencies that want you to do things that you don't want to do. So he's still pro Bitcoin. They're still investing. They still have their Bitcoin bonds going on, and that definitely seems like a positive news source that this is still their currency, and hopefully more countries will jump on board and want to make it their currency as well. So moving on to, what is this, number 4? Ukraine president signs law legalizing and regulating crypto assets, which, boom, there it is. You can see the chain of events rolling into people using Bitcoin more often. So this war is probably not the first time people have used cryptocurrencies in this way, but it's definitely in the public eye how much Bitcoin is being utilized to help Ukraine as a country. And as most of the donations that I've seen are being done in Bitcoin. So we're seeing utility in a way that more people can understand Bitcoin, and it shows hopefully a positive result. Obviously, as the war goes on, we'll see more of what happens. But yeah, it's definitely positive results. So moving on from that, there's one thing that I actually saw in here that I didn't add. I didn't even look up an article for it, but the Russia was considering using Bitcoin for their gas contracts for more friendly sources. So if you are a friendly nation to Russia, you could pay them in Bitcoin potentially for their gas. They were kind of changing up their contracts in a way so that they could boost the ruble. So if you're an unfriendly nation like, say, America or whatever, they would want you to pay in the ruble, and they're doing that in a way so they could stabilize their own currency. Obviously, if we're using their currency, not the world reserve currency that is the US dollar, we're going to be propping up the ruble because, you know, it's going to have more utility at that point. So that is also something to consider. I didn't look for an article on that one, but it's just something I thought was thinking of, like the cuff, you know. So potentially they could be using Bitcoin for transactions when it comes to their gas contracts. But to me, that kind of brings up more questions because there's a very limited supply of Bitcoin when you actually think about it. So to use Bitcoin for something that has such high volume, the price would have to increase quite a bit. That they're bringing it down to the SAT, you know, like to actually do these transactions. So that potentially could be good news for Bitcoin. So yeah, there's a bunch of good things going on in the cryptocurrency space right now. We kind of were in a drag for the past couple of weeks or so, but it looks like things are looking up. But it is cryptocurrency, so we don't know what's going to happen next week. So right now we can kind of celebrate and enjoy the gains we're making. You know, you can claim different positions, sell out of positions, you know, to kind of make some money now, or you can just hold on. Typically, like I do, I just hold on to my position and, you know, make a lot of money year over year by just holding on to Bitcoin. So there's always that option. But like I said, if you guys know any other positive news, because there's quite a bit going on right now, let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching.